How goodwill helped her land a job and get her back on her feet. Plus, watch your body language from virtual meetings to wearing masks daily. How well have you adjusted to the new normal? We're going to find out what you've been sending, if you've been sending the wrong signals. And Houstonian Des was back on the Voice stage last night. Woo, how she did in those battle rounds. All in that today on Houston Life. Is that for real?
Live from Studio B at KPRC Channel 2. Houston Life starts now.
Well, welcome to Houston Life. It is Wednesday, finally middle of the week, and it's November 11th. Of course, it's Veterans Day. I'm Courtney Savala.
Hi, Courtney. It's great to see you. And hi, everybody. I'm Derek Shore here in Studio LR, living room at home. There's a little construction noise in case you hear that, some hammering and nailing that's going on in the neighborhood. But happy Veterans Day indeed, Courtney. I know we'll get to that in just a bit. But gosh, I cannot believe it is that time of year already. On the 9th, we celebrated the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Today is Veterans Day. Pearl Harbor Day is coming up in a few weeks. And certainly there are a lot of folks out there we want to send our love to today.
Absolutely, and we're going to get to that coming up. But did you notice what just showed right before Houston Life started? Did you see that? Did you see the commercial?
Oh, the promo for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
Salt Lake City?
I sure did.
Oh, they had their
Saltwater City has never been more proud.
I mean, that's happening tonight. Let me tell you something. I'm hoping there's got to be some kind of drama surrounding this, right?
Oh, listen, we're going to have the White Claws out while the other claws come out on the television. I'm sure. I'm sure it's going to happen. We will be watching.
And I will say the Code Red emergency has been solved at your house. We have now, a 52-pack of White Claws, so we are set for quarantine. Just for tonight.
It's a 24-pack. It'll last for a full hour. Don't worry.
Okay, we'll crack one open. We're going to get back to you and have a proper hello in just a moment. Let's get over to Lauren and Joe for what they have coming up today. And Lauren, I'm so excited about this story that you're working on for today.
This is for all of my Law & Order SVU fans. So many. The hit drama is back tomorrow night for an all-new season, and I'm breaking down what you can expect to see with two of the show's stars, Ice-T and Jamie Gray Hyder. Woo!
Yes, Lauren. I'm hoping, did you rap or do some kind of singing with Ice-T?
Maybe.
Okay. All right. That's what I needed to know. I'm going to mic drop it right here for you. Okay. We got to get out to Joe, who is in Wharton right now with a really great activity. I don't know. This makes me nervous, though.
Yeah, we're getting a little more adventurous, Courtney. So we're going to be taking everyone to new heights. We're going to be heading into the sky. So right now we're going to be talking about that at Cowboy Up Hang Gliding. You can already see me sitting on it right now. Beautiful aircraft. We're going to give you all the safety information before we take to the sky. And I'm going to get ready for my flight and grow some wings. That's what we're going to be doing today.
I can't wait. It's a perfect day. Not a cloud in the sky for sure. Lauren and Joe, we will see you guys in just a few moments.
Right.
Okay, again, Derek, today is Veterans Day, so we want to say a special thank you to all those who have served on this very special day, including my brother Bob, who I believe is watching in Arizona. He is a United States Marine Corps veteran. He served 8 years, and this is one of the photos he sent me just recently for the boys to see, but he was in the Gulf War. And he was, as I said, Staff Sergeant in the Marine Corps. And during the Gulf War, he was with the Marine Air Traffic Control Squadron 38. He's got some really cool stories. And I love seeing all these pictures that he recently just sent us to just kind of have this conversation and to say thank you for the service. And Derek, remember last year around this time is when my dad took the honor flight. And my dad, Bob Zavala Sr., there he is there from that historic honor flight that he took to D.C. last year, and he was in the Korean War.
I remember that flight very well. What a fantastic experience for your father. And I think what you just said, when it comes to these photos, Courtney, I think that as I've gotten older, I appreciate the photos, the videos, the stories, even more than I could really grasp and understand as a child. My late grandfather, my mom's dad, served in World War II. Shirley Willard Nichols is his full name. We called him Grandpa Bill. But he served at Hickman Air Force Base in Hawaii, which is right next to Pearl Harbor. And You know, I wish that he passed away when I was 11 or 12 years old, but back then we didn't have a video camera. I wish that I had been able to sit him down, put him in front of a camera, and just record and hear his stories, because there are very, very few remaining World War II vets. And that's just something that I wish I had. And now, of course, my mom is my resource to hear the stories that she remembers, but our memories all fade. And so I think, again, any videos or photos that you have, if there's a veteran in your life, sit them down and get them on video, because I think making record of their service, their sacrifice, is just so critical. And, you know, we rely on memories, and again, they fade over time.
Absolutely. And I think, Derek, you're so right. Hearing it in their words, you know, we can always recount what someone else has told us, and it's sort of that telephone game, right? We're going to miss something, we're not going to say it correctly, but to hear them recount it in their own words is so powerful. And thankfully, I mean, we are all connected to our phones and laptops, and sometimes it's more of a problem, more of a nuisance. But in this case, man, put that phone right in front of them and get a soundbite or get a story that you can hear them recount it, because I think that is so important. And, you know, there's another story that we ran today that I saw this morning. It literally stopped me in my tracks. I had my slippers on, was making lunches for school, and it was about Joe Rodriguez. He's a 95-year-old veteran living here in town, and he's a World War II veteran. And you can text him at this number, 713-681-0012, to say thank you for your service. He says that he doesn't really talk a lot about the memories and things like that, but if you want to send him a note that says thank you, do that. The number's there on the screen. And Rodriguez fought in the Philippines and then on to Japan after the atomic bombs were dropped. You know, he was drafted. And nowadays he shares his memories with his best friend and fellow veteran, Hector Grion. The pair are generations apart, but obviously they share the same brotherhood. It's such an amazing story.
And he's not going to be texting people back, I understand, right? But I think just knowing that he will be receiving these messages is so powerful. And I think that what you just mentioned, Courtney, probably a lot of our veterans feel the same way. They've seen things, they've experienced things during times of war that they do not wish to remember. For so many people, PTSD is such a real thing. My mom was reminding me this morning that her Uncle Bob, he was a diver in Pearl Harbor, and his job was to go down and recover bodies. It was absolutely horrific, and I know that that's a very painful memory for our family and something that is not often talked about. But I think it is so important that we do talk about it, and we do remember the sacrifices that my Uncle Bob made, and so many of his comrades during that really horrible time in our history. You
are so right, and that is just an incredible toll on my heart. And I know today is Veterans Day, so it's the one day that we really talk about it and say thank you for your service, but really we should do that every single day.
We certainly should. We certainly should. You know, over the past few weeks, we've of course been quarantined at home, and interestingly, during that time, we've attended a wedding and a funeral virtually, things that before 2020 and COVID came along, Courtney, I didn't think was really possible. But it's kind of cool, though, that so many people are able to. I mean, you could have a wedding with a ton of people, right? You could do a virtual wedding that a lot of people who maybe otherwise could not attend could attend. So it was actually really cool.
I mean, it is mind-blowing to me, but you said a wedding and a funeral?
A wedding and a funeral, sadly. Yeah, my sister lost both of her in-laws, her husband's parents this year. Her father earlier this year in March, his mother just last month. So anyway, we did a funeral service on Sunday. It was lovely, and it was great to see some of those extended family members. But the wedding, my friends John and Sean in New York City, they got married about a week ago. So the circle of life, it continues even during COVID.
I know, and you know, it's you know, we have said that we're all adapting. This is the new normal, and we're kind of figuring things out. But at least the party for the wedding side can continue. And let's be honest, for a funeral, a lot of times it's a celebration, right? Because you find yourself crying and laughing, but it's a proper way to say goodbye and have a final farewell. And I think it's really great that so many people are finding ways to do that and to honor those who are passing during this time.
Yeah, you can still connect across the miles. I think what you just said too, Courtney, it reminds me, today is What's Your Problem Wednesday. And I remember at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, we had several, how do I say this, irate viewers reach out to us and say, how dare you say the new normal? This is just temporary. Well, guess what, people? Yep. It's November. It's the end of the year. We are seeing exploding COVID numbers.
Right.
And yeah, it sort of is like a new normal for a while.
It is, absolutely. And it's the way of life at this moment. So it is the new normal for sure. And something else that's continuing, and you know, Derek, you and I have gotten into some serious trouble at the Nutcracker market. Good trouble, shopping trouble, maybe losing track of time, forgetting when the show airs. Remember, we were shopping, it was the spring market the first time, right? And we went to the early bird shopping.
And we went shopping before the show and almost didn't have a show that day.
Ooh,
yes,
we almost did not make it back. But I'm so excited because tonight would have been preview party night. And so right now what's happening virtually for the Nutcracker market is that it is the preview party. If you bought an early bird pass for this, proceeds going directly to the foundation, this is the platform that you're able to shop. Now, tomorrow, everyone can shop. And so do this because it's not only helping the Houston Ballet, the foundation, and so many great resources for the scholarship fund and all of that. But remember, these vendors who are participating, over 100 of them, these are people that have not been able to hold their business over the last few months. So they depend on these types of shows. Many of them do not have a brick and mortar. They depend on these shows to put money in their wallets and feed their families and everything else. So if you can shop local, get on that platform. It is such a great cause. Guilty, I've already been shopping a few times today.
Well, listen, you do not need to feel guilty, Courtney, because for the reasons you just laid out, it is absolutely true. This year, more than ever, it is critical. It doesn't just support the ballet, as you said, but these small businesses, not just feeding their families, but helping to support their employees as well.
Absolutely. Okay, so you already said it. What's your problem Wednesday? We got to get to it. Neither one of us are in pink, so maybe we're feeling a little feisty today. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, what's funny is I saw a message that someone sent to you the other day, Courtney, again about your hair. People, leave Courtney's hair alone. I'm starting to take personal offense that you, my dear friend, are being attacked and accused on a regular basis of wearing extensions. Sorry, people. Her hair is all real.
My hair's real. I mean, my mom, I hope you're watching, Mom. Yes, people, she remembers, I think, one time I walked into a hair salon. I think I was 8, and the lady refused to cut my hair because I had too much hair. She's just, it was too much for her to take on. But yeah, this lady wanted me to take out my extensions. So y'all, again, not a wig. This is my hair. I don't have extensions. So I don't know. We're gonna leave it there.
We're gonna table this conversation for now, but I want to revisit this at some point because I have a lot of things to say to Joanne.
Okay, all right. So how about next Wednesday? Is it a date?
Okay, deal.
All right, coming up, Houston restaurants are honoring our veterans with a lot of special discounts after the break, which local businesses are thanking our servicemen and women. And we're going to be checking back in with Joe Sam, who is flying high today. What a view. See where you can safely take up hang gliding locally. Houston Life will be back in just 2 minutes. Welcome back. You know, many local businesses are honoring veterans today, and here are a few of the deals that are available. Listen to this. Receive a complimentary Sarge's SOS appetizer at Brennan's of Houston. Every day, 20% military discount at Dish Society. Should mention all the locations of Dish Society. And 25% off your bill at Tubio Sushi and Bar. There's also a complimentary appetizer with a $25 purchase from Mala Szechuan Bistro and a 30% discount at Fat Eatery. And for additional dining deals, head over to click2houston.com. We have a full list there. So many great restaurants participating.
Absolutely. Some of our favorites on that list, Courtney. And as long as we are honoring veterans by giving them some deals at some local restaurants, we want to hear from you all, our viewers, on this Veterans Day, November 11th. Send us your shout outs, your tributes to the veteran in your life. Visit our Facebook page and share a photo, share a memory, anything you want. And we will be sharing some of those a little later on in today's show.
Absolutely. And some good ones already coming in. Okay, this next story kind of has me nervous a little bit. Whether you've always dreamed of flying or just wanting to cross it off your bucket list, Joe Sam has found the perfect place to turn that into a reality. He's joining us live in Wharton. He's already in the air? He is already in the air. Okay, he cannot hear us, but that is him up there. And we are going to check in with him about this experience, hang gliding. Fantastic. Okay, so we'll check in with him in just a little bit. I know, isn't that amazing?
That is so cool. You know, hang gliding is something that I have always wanted to do, and I'm so glad that we have a local spot we can go visit. Can't wait to see more.
I know, it's going to be awesome. A perfect day for it, too. Okay, so we're going to check back in with Joe in just a little bit. Coming up later in the show, crossed arms, not making eye contact. How about not smiling enough? What do your actions say about you? Our body language expert is going to weigh in. And after the break, a veteran story on how her coming home left her jobless, what Goodwill did to help her land her dream job. That story and more when Houston Life returns. Well, welcome back. You know, veterans sometimes face challenges when returning home after military service. At Goodwill, they believe finding a good job shouldn't be one of them. Joining us now from Goodwill is Barbie Parker, along with U.S. Army veteran Jasmine Carey, to tell us about her story. Ladies, welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
Hi, Courtney. Good to see you today.
And
as you guys mentioned, you know, we are so thankful for all of our veterans. And at Goodwill Houston, you know, many veterans come back after they've been deployed and they are unsure of the next steps, getting back into civilian life. And Goodwill Houston, we help veterans get back to the workforce. And so I am celebrating today our very own Jasmine Carey. She is with us today and she has such an incredible success story. So I'm going to hand it over to Jasmine and just let her tell you a little bit about her story.
Okay, well, I was a paralegal specialist. I was with the military for 7 years. I worked really hard. I loved my job. After having my daughter, you know, I decided the time had come after deployments and steadily moving, the time had come to finally settle down. I moved to Louisiana. Things were not going well for me. That support that I had from being in the military since after high school, I didn't have it anymore. And things just weren't going well. I made the decision to move out to Houston after being told there were better job opportunities. After arriving in Houston, I went to the Goodwill Veteran Job Connection Center, where I was provided a counselor who gave me the resources I needed to get back in the workforce and to get back on my feet. I was homeless. I lived in a shelter. After going through the counseling services, I was offered a temporary position with Goodwill, not high paying, but it would get me on my feet. After starting that position, I ran into another veteran who works for the Goodwill corporate office as well. And he informed me that there was a position opening for an administrative assistant position that was temporary, and encouraged me to apply for the position. I did. I was able to, they welcomed me, and I was in that position for about 6 months, and they brought me on permanently. From 3 years ago, when I first entered Goodwill, I went from homeless to now having a home where my daughter and my son have their own room. I've been able to purchase a vehicle. I've been able to go back to school, and I've ultimately became, I'm back to the woman that I used to be very proud of.
it is such an incredible service. And first of all, Jasmine, thank you for your service. It's an incredible story that you have. And I can only imagine being homeless, being a mother, and not feeling like you don't have purpose. And when you look back and now, you know, I feel like when we're going through the hard times, it's hard for us to see over that hill. And now that you have a chance to look back and see what you went through to get to where you are today, you must be so grateful to have Goodwill in your corner.
Absolutely. They're my family. I'm forever grateful to them. And hopefully I can be in a position to extend the same thing to another veteran that may need that opportunity to start over.
Well, what a great spokesperson you are for us today. And Barbie, let's talk about the other services that you offer other veterans like Jasmine.
Yes. So again, we welcome all veterans, you know, no matter what side of the service you're in, come see us and we will help you get back into the workforce. And, you know, we are so grateful for all of our donors, monetary and clothes and shoppers. Because when you donate and shop at Goodwill Houston, you are helping to change lives through the power of work. You are helping us provide these services to Jasmine and other veterans and other people with barriers to employment. So we are so grateful. One quick thing, Jasmine didn't say this, but she just got another promotion a couple weeks ago. So proud of her. So she is just rising through the ranks and, you know, again, being homeless and not knowing where you're going to have your next meal. And now she just has a brand new house and a brand new car. And we are just so proud of Jasmine. So thank you.
It's an incredible story. And I know that there are so many other people out there that can relate, who are going through this as well. And I think one thing that we need to stress here is that Goodwill is so much more than just a thrift store.
Exactly, Courtney, 100%. Come shop with us, donate with us. And again, you will be helping people like Jasmine and other people with barriers to employment. We are so grateful for all of the veterans that have served our country. Just an amazing thing. So thank you all to all of our veterans.
Well, and thank you all for your time today. And also U.S. Army veteran Jasmine Carey, Barbie Parker. It's wonderful to see you ladies. And again, thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you, Courtney.
If you are someone you know is in need of the services offered at Goodwill, you can head to goodwillhouston.org. Well, still ahead, she entered the battle rounds last night on The Voice. Find out how Houston local Des did after the break. And we're going to be joined by Keith, Christine, and Frank for a look at what's coming up at the news at 4. Ooh, such a pretty shot. Houston Life will be back in 2 minutes. Well, welcome back to Houston Life. I'm Courtney Savala. It's just about 3:30. Of course, Derek is in Studio LR. It sounds so official in the living room.
Yeah, doesn't it, right? I'm really getting used to this. I love wearing shorts to work every single day.
Okay, we're just going to take your word for it that you have shorts on. So, I got an update on Oscar because today was his big neuter surgery.
Oh.
Doesn't he look like a Muppet?
Look at him. I think maybe because he has that thing around his neck, he looks a little different, but what a cutie.
So Orlando took the up charge on this thing that he's wearing because when the vet called and said that he was out of surgery and everything's going great, he had already chewed through 2 cones and he was still sedated. So good luck to us in the next 10 days.
Oh, well, I guess that answers my question. Why is he not wearing the traditional cone? What is that? Instead of a cone, what is that? It looks almost like a barber's smock.
Yeah, it's like a medical T-shirt of some sort. It's supposed to keep him from biting. I don't know, but this is just the picture that I got. But look at it. He looks really happy. Right?
He does look very, very happy. He looks happy, and I hope he's in no pain.
I know.
That's very responsible of you to go through with that surgery.
Oh, thank you. We just need him back. Our house was so quiet today.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, give him some extra belly rubs for me. Okay?
I will. Okay, time
All
now.
right, so
we're going to
earlier
check in
in
the
today's show,
viewer
of
comments,
course.
right? Go ahead. No, you go.
We sure are, yeah. And we were asking our viewers to send in their tributes to the veterans in their lives. Cynthia writes in, her father in World War II, her nephew, son, daughter, Army, Marines, Navy, and Air Force. That is incredible. Cynthia, please pass along our thanks for your family service.
Oh, my word. That is so incredible. Also, Nikki writes in, my handsome husband, Tommy, USMC Lance Corporal, served 97 to 2001. That's an awesome photo there, too. Thank you for your service.
Very nice. Keep them coming. Roberta writes in, my dad, my hero, World War II Army veteran, Silver Star and Purple Heart recipient, a true warrior. Miss him every single day. Roberta, I'm sure you do. Thank you so much to all of our viewers who have submitted your comments and your photos and sharing a piece of your lives with us.
Absolutely. Such a great tribute, for sure. And I know, I love seeing your picture of your grandfather, too, Derek.
Yeah, I think I sort of have his nose, but he was a boxer. He broke his nose 9 times. So it started to look a little different after a while.
Wow. What was his ring name? Did he have a ring name? Like a boxer name?
I'm going to have to find out. That's a great question. I'll ask my mom.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I didn't know that. And the photo, what was he holding in that photo? I don't know. You could tell me later, I guess. I don't know, because I want the picture that you showed today. He was holding something.
You know, I'll have to look at it again. You know, my short-term memory here.
I know. How many White Claws have you had in 30 minutes? Let's be honest.
Not one. Seriously, not one. I'm tethered. There's so many wires on my floor. I can't move.
Maybe it's his clothing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's in my grandfather's packages right there, but I will ask my mom.
Okay.
I'm not sure she knows.
Lots of questions.
Fuzzy memories.
Okay, well, that's good. Okay, now it's time we're going to check in with Keith and Christine and Frank for a look at what is coming up on the news at 4. Hi, guys.
Hey there. Yeah, you know, we're taking bets. We think those are clothes and
laundry, right?
Yeah.
Maybe some laundry.
Yeah. Think so.
We were all leaning really close. We're like, what is that? Trying to figure it out.
Maybe his uniforms and his stuff ready to go to
that could be. That could be. I'm curious to hear the full story, Derek, once you talk to your mom. So
Brown
keep us
paper
posted.
packages.
I know.
I will.
Yeah, and also a big thank you to all of our veterans. I'm loving to see all the photos today and the sense of pride from folks. But we have a lot coming up at 4 o'clock today. Certainly not as humid today, which is a nice relief, Frank.
Oh, and look at this sky. Do you even see a cloud?
No. Bluebird skies. Very nice.
It's amazing. Temperatures have been so lovely. 84, 83, 82. Humidity's down. It's like 26% up in Huntsville. So this drier air continues to filter in here. Look at this in Tomball, calm, 82, 83 in Conroe, Pearland is at 84. So 82 at 4 p.m., 79, 76, 73. But we see temperatures that continue to get right on down into the 60s pretty quickly and in the 50s overnight tonight. So we'll talk more about that coming at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, this is Ada, and you can see while it's still offshore here, look at all of this rain from Key West all the way up through Central Florida and then wrapping into the Tampa area. So it's already a mess in lots of Florida. 70-mile-an-hour winds moving north-northeast at 10. And look at all these boxes. A tornado watch, a aerial flood advisory, severe thunderstorm warning is just expiring at 4 o'clock, so 3 o'clock our time. So things are beginning to get, I think, worse before they get better as far as Florida is concerned. So a very nice Vets Day. I have a big front coming. It is on the way this weekend. I'll time it all out for you because fall is going to fall in a big way. You're going to love it.
All right, Frank, looking forward to it. Thank you. And some other stories we're following this afternoon come up at 4 o'clock. We are expecting to learn more details about the man accused of shooting and killing a Houston police sergeant on Monday. The suspect, Robert Solis, is scheduled to appear in court at 4 o'clock. We have already learned that a great deal about his previous criminal record. We're going to have a live report coming up at 4.
Also at 4, four-wheelers, very popular, especially here in Texas. Tonight, a warning, though, from a 10-year-old after he was in a serious crash with his ATV, what likely saved his life and what he hopes other children can learn from his accident.
Glad to see him smiling in that photo, right? Plus, are you trying to get rid of bad dreams? There is an app for that. How a smartphone application can help people suffering from nightmares.
I haven't had a nightmare in a long time, thank goodness, but
Really?
I'm intrigued to figure out what the...
I know. I feel like, Courtney and Derek, I feel like nightmares have actually been on the rise since the pandemic began. There's studies on that. So for folks who are dealing with that, there's an app.
Probably. There's an app for everything, but I would imagine everybody's anxiety is a little bit heightened right now. All right, guys, we'll see you in less than 30.
Sounds good.
Okay, so Courtney, you know, of course, last night was a very big night for 2 Houston area natives on The Voice. We're big fans of The Voice. Of course, John Holiday and Dez, both of them have made time graciously to appear here on Houston Life. Gosh, John Holiday, his voice really is incredible. Dez never disappoints as well. And earlier today, I actually had the opportunity to chat with Dez to hear what she had to say about last night's battle rounds. First of all, congrats on advancing. How are you feeling at this point in the competition?
Man, I'm so blessed right now. I'm just super excited to be advancing to the next round. It's a surreal experience, to be in the middle of a pandemic and still be able to live out your dream and showcase your talent to the world. It is. I feel incredible right now.
Well, we feel incredible rooting you on. Last night, your duet was If You Don't Know Me By Now with Joseph, of course. The first time we chatted, it was on the heels of your amazing performance of Unbreak My Heart. When it comes to the song selection, you seem so calm and collected. Is there ever added pressure when you're selecting a song that is so well known and loved for many years and even decades?
With selecting a song for myself, it's a little bit of pressure, but with this particular round, the coaches actually selected the songs for us. So it was a surprise to me to get such a familiar song to me, and it's just something that I've grown up listening to and I've always admired, given it isn't a duet song. So it was some challenges, making it a duet between me and Joseph and finding that chemistry, creating a storyline, creating the chemistry on stage. And he's such an amazing person and amazing. I couldn't have asked for a more amazing partner. He was just such a team player, and we got it done. And if you don't know us by now, you know us now. So it was amazing.
You two sounded fantastic. I liked Blake Shelton's dad joke of, he feels like we do know you pretty well by now. Listen, I know you have a lot of fans rooting for you and sending you messages of love and hope from home. What messages do you have for your fans out there, not just around the world, but right here at home in Houston?
Man, H-Town, Houston, thank you so much for your love, for your support, for just your outpour, just always being there. Like, Houston has always been, singing out in Houston. They're just so welcoming, and it's something about the Southern hospitality. They welcome me in home. They welcome me even when I don't live there. So I thank you, Houston. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't say it enough. Thank you. I appreciate you. I love you so much, Houston.
Well, we love you back, Des. We are rooting for you every step of the way. And of course, you always are welcome to visit H-Town anytime. And once COVID is over, we would love to see you on Houston Life in Studio B.
Please. I would love to be there. I would love to come and see you in person.
Des is so fantastic, Courtney, and it really is incredible watching her on stage. Kelly Clarkson last night, she was saying it's not just the voice, but her eye contact, her stage presence, and I don't know, I mean, John Holiday as well. I think we could see them both go very far in this competition. And a reminder to our viewers, you can catch The Voice Mondays and Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. right here on KPRC Channel 2. We got to root for our hometown guy and girl.
You are so right, and you're spot on, because it feels like she's singing directly to one person. It is really incredible.
Yeah.
Both of them have such great talent. Great job. I love that interview, Derek, by the way. Coming up next, from your facial expressions to your posture, your gesture, we're sharing 3 of the most common body language mistakes that we all should avoid. Plus, coming up, Lauren has a look at an NBC favorite. Hey, girl.
Hey, so am I singing like this or am I singing like this?
I know. What do I do with my hands?
Well, Courtney, the stars from Law & Order SVU are getting us ready for the show's season premiere tomorrow night right here on KPRC Channel 2. How the cast and their crew handled their new normal way of filming during a pandemic when Houston Life returns.
you to all our servicemen and women, past and present, on this Veterans Day.
And a special thank you to our son Dylan for his past service in the United States Marine Corps. We love you.
Hoorah!
Happy Veterans Day to all of those who have served and continue to serve our country. And I want to send a special thanks to some of my closest friends, Roberta and Alexis Suarez, Yelena Reyes, Stephen Fuentes, and Nestor Gonzalez.
We'd like to thank all past and present servicemen and women who have volunteered to fight for our freedoms. Your dedication, commitment, and courage are what makes this country great.
And we'd especially like to thank our son, Mario Robau, for his service to our country and his continued service to his community. We love you, Mario.
Those My Houston Life shout-outs are special every day, but on today's Veteran Day, thank you all for your service. In a COVID world, you know, with less and less human interaction, what your body language can say behind your mask or a virtual setting could really be speaking volumes. Body language expert Jen Hargrave is sharing 3 common mistakes you don't even know you're making. Girlfriend, it's been too long. How are you?
I know, even if I'm not in the studio, I feel that you're near me because, you know, I'm reading your body language every day when I see you. And I just read Lauren's when she said, should I put my hands in the front? Should I put my hands in the back? She probably should put her hands in the front because people trust you faster when they can see some of your hand motions. Not crazy hand motions, but just a few in front of you, then maybe put the hands down. So that's how people get to trust you quicker.
Okay, so the assess is there. The one thing I have with my mask is I feel now with my mask on, when I see someone that I know or don't know and I want to say hello, I'm nodding, I am smiling behind that mask, but we can tell when we're not smiling behind that mask, right?
Yes, you can, because the emotions of the face are primarily done from the upper cheek upwards. So when someone's smiling, when someone's even angry, you could tell it by the brows right here probably come together. There's only 7 universal facial emotions, and they are anger and fear, sadness, contempt, happiness, surprise, and disgust. The only one that would maybe be hard to tell when you have a mask on is disgust, because the upper lip, one side of the upper lip kind of goes up. You have 22 facial muscles in your face, and you can show a lot of emotion. I mean, if you're at the doctor's office and he has on a mask, I think you can tell if he has empathy for you or sympathy for you or compassion for you. So don't let the mask stop you from expressing the emotion that you feel underneath it. So if you want to smile, you smile really with your eyes. The corners of your eyes twinkle. A true smile, the mouth goes up, the eyes go up. And that's why with the Mona Lisa picture, it's always kind of every person questioned, what's her mood, because the artist, Leonardo da Vinci, made sure that the shadows were here around her eyes and the shadows were here around her mouth. So we cannot tell if her mouth is turned upward. We cannot tell if her eyes are turned upward. So that's why it's kind of been an interesting thing to watch her expressions through all these years and see that it doesn't change at all.
This is so fascinating to me. And I know, Jan, you've known me for a few years now. I can't stop talking with my hands. So in a virtual setting, sometimes I feel it's a little much. But if I sat on them, nothing would come out of my mouth. But you're saying limit the hand motions?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think people look more natural when they use some hand motions, because when you're talking with an individual, you're probably going to use your hands. But when you're using them, you have to make them to be deliberate hand motions, because your personality comes out when you show people your hands. If I'm there and you never get to see my hands, it does not make me look as good as I can look. So every now and then to say something effectively, you can push your hand out, you maybe bring your hand in. You know, I always teach the steeple because it's a big sign of confidence.
Right.
I teach people to even talk and hold their hands as though they're holding onto an imaginary basketball. It kind of gives you something to do with your hands, and you're talking, you're receiving, and you're giving information to other people. Everything you do from about here up signifies really a lot about your emotions and your feelings. Some negatives, though, Courtney, would be what we call displacement gestures. Someone sitting there and maybe scratching their hand here, that's not a good gesture. Someone touching the eye with the left hand, someone touching the ear with the left hand, someone touching the left side of the nose. All of these gestures are called displacement gestures and can indicate that someone's really uncomfortable and may be lying to you. So you never want to do these on the camera. And even tossing of the hair is not a good gesture, because it stops people from really listening to what you're saying. They're so caught up on, when is she going to touch her hair again? When is she going to touch her hair again? So to my lady viewers, I say, watch how many times you toss your hair during a virtual call.
And if that's a problem, put in a ponytail and don't be tempted to do it. Jan, it's always wonderful to connect with you and see you, even though it is virtually.
even though it's like this, even though it's this, and this is the good gesture, 45-degree angle is like this. It says, I welcome your opinion. So Courtney, I welcome your opinion. Thank you so much, my friend.
You're so welcome. It's always great to see you, and you always have the best advice, by the way. If you do want to connect with Jan, visit our website, and we've got all the information over there. Okay, Lauren, we're sending it over to you. This is such a fun story.
But what is this hand gesture? The princess way.
It's the queen.
So I'm really excited to talk about all things Law and Order SVU. It's the longest running primetime drama in the history of American television, and they're back with a brand new season tomorrow night right here on KPRC2. And I got to chat with two of the show's stars, Ice-T and Jamie Gray Hyder, about the secret behind keeping a show on the air for so long. I'm just so excited to talk to you and Jamie today. Number one, because you have a show like Law and Order SVU that's just about to kick off its 22nd season, and you have been on the show for 21 seasons. Jamie, you've been on there for 2, but that's okay. You're now part of a wonderful cast, and we welcome you to Houston Life.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So I want to first catch up with you guys. How was the small break during production while the pandemic hit? What is it like being an actor and, not being able to create this show that's been on the air for so long with your castmates?
Hold up, Jamie. Did she say small break? That was a 6 months break. We were getting nervous. Nervous. I mean, we usually have a hiatus of 2 months. And they shut the show down 3 episodes early because of, the COVID. So we were long past ready to come back by then.
I want to ask, what do you think the secret sauce is behind a show lasting for so many seasons?
Outside of me being on the show?
Dude. I'll help you with that.
I'm using that joke all day. Don't trip. Okay. Hey, I think it's a whodunit. And I think it's a show that matters. Jamie, embellish what I just said.
Well, the whodunit thing is great because, every show in itself, you can just watch it in its entirety and you get the answers you're looking for. You don't have to stream 800 of them in order to get to the main plot. But also the topics we deal with are so easy to relate to that I think everyone has an opinion on whatever it is that we're discussing. And so long as the world continues to give us these unfortunate circumstances to portray, we're going to have material. And I think that so many shows get so outlandish that people go there for escapism, but then they come to us for kind of a mirror and a sort of a reflection on society. And that's a place that SVU has held from the beginning.
Well, Ice-T, Sergeant Finn, and Jamie Gray Hyder, Officer Cat, we're so excited to catch the episode tomorrow night. Law and Order SVU returns for season 22, and we can't wait to have you guys back here in Houston once everything is up and ready to go again.
Thank you.
We're happy to be back. Thank you.
And you can catch the season 22 premiere of Law and Order SVU, like I said, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, right here on KPRC Channel 2.
What a cool conversation, Lauren. I mean, 2 of the biggest stars on that show.
You know what's really funny? The people who did not know Ice-T had a music career before Law and Order, because he's been on the show for 20 years.
You know what? 20 years, and I cannot believe it's been that long.
I know, it's crazy.
And so talented, and it's just so fantastic. I love it. I'm so glad that you brought that to us today.
They're so fun. Thank
you.
So
fun. All right, before we go to break, we're going to check in with Joe Sam, who's been flying high, back on the ground now.
Yeah, Courtney, we just made it back on the ground. So we just finished an incredible flight in the sky on this amazing aircraft right here. When we come back, we're going to be talking to the owner about the flight that I just took. And we're going to be talking about the safety of it all as well when Houston Life returns. Stay with us. Well, welcome back here to Houston Live. We just finished taking a flight in the sky here at Cowboy Up Hang Gliding. It's been an amazing flight, and who took me on that flight was the professional and owner herself, Tiki. We had such a great time, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Oh,
we did.
wow. Talk about what we did before. We went over a lot of safety requirements. Before people come out here, they go through all of those guidelines and safety requirements, right?
That's correct. We went through a lot of the stuff that the FAA wants you to know about this aircraft and about myself, how much training I've received, FAA licenses and so forth.
Yeah, you have to have that pilot license to be able to fly something as beautiful as this here, because this is a light sport. You talked about the different categories of those hand gliders that we have out here, and even the airplanes. This is considered a light sport. Tell us what that is.
Correct. This is a light sport aircraft. It's a category of under the FAA. And under light sport aircraft, you have to have a sport pilot's license in order to fly it. Here at Cowboy Up Hang Gliding, we also tow up hang gliders aside from doing light sport. In order to tow up, you need a private pilot's license, which is what I have. And I also have a certified flight instructor's certificate.
And you're going to be doing flights pretty much all year round. So we're going to be showing everyone how my flight looked on Facebook, on social media, so you guys will be able to go and check that out too. We're going to be telling people how they can come and check out your classes that you're going to be doing and all of the exciting things that you can see here at Cowboy Up Hang Gliding. But make sure you go and check out my flight in the sky with Tiki here on our social media pages. For right now, we're going to send things back to you, Courtney. I had an incredible time. I finally grew some wings.
That is awesome. It was a perfect day for it as well. Joe, thanks so much. And when we come back, we'll have a look at what's coming up on tomorrow's show. But as we head to break, a live look at the Marine Corps Memorial in Arlington, Virginia, in honor of Veterans Day. Houston Live will be right back. Well, such a fun show today, Derek, on Veterans Day, and great show from the living room.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. My living room says thanks as well.
And the leaf. What leaf is that again? I can't remember. Tell me after this. Coming up on tomorrow's show. Yeah, Monstera. That's what it is. I love it. Coming up on tomorrow's show, though, calling all shopaholics, kickoff to the holiday season with the help of a month-long virtual market we know and love. Of course, it's the Nutcracker Market. And so this was such a fun show. Absolutely. Love seeing it and love seeing you, but I miss seeing you in person.
And I miss you as well, Courtney. I feel like you should be using your Oprah voice anytime you talk about the Nutcracker Market. In the meantime, though, we're going to toss it on over to Frank, Keith, and Christine ahead of Channel 2 News at 4 o'clock. Guys, I miss you as well, and thanks for your text messages checking in on Brandon. He definitely appreciates it.
Oh, of course, you guys. We're thinking about you guys all the time and can't wait to have you right next door, joining Courtney soon enough again.
That's right. You might have to bring a Monstera leaf with you, because who doesn't need a Monstera leaf in their life? You know?
We all need one.
No problem.
Amen.
I have a bunch.
Always good to see you guys. All right, coming up next at 4, the new effort locally to help people who have already felt the impact of what